Elsie Fisher takes on the Addams Family. Greg Nicotero develops Spawn. And Hugh Jackman and Jason Reitman are in a new film together. All this and more on Movie Emproium's News of the Day. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Movie Emproium's News of the Day for August 31st, 2018, where we take stories from around the world of movies, break them down, and tell you about them one by one. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, Audioboom, Facebook, and Twitter, all that good stuff. Just want to let you know, I apologize for everything that's been going on the last couple of days with the News of the Day. I've been working with Adobe Premiere, so it's not cooperating with me on my laptop, so I'm having issues. It's a whole mess, but I'm doing the best I can. I do appreciate whoever watches. I hope you're still enjoying what I put out, but I just want to give you a heads up. Hopefully this pops up on Friday. We'll see. Also, Monday's Labor Day. A lot of times news doesn't come out that day, so we'll play it by ear, but if there's no news of the day for Monday, I'll let you know ahead of time. But with that, we'll go ahead and head into our first news story, which is... as news goes, it was reported that Alec Baldwin was supposed to play Bruce Wayne's father in the 80s in the Joker movie. He was supposed to play like a Donald Trump character. If you watch the video, you know all about it. But not even 2 days later, we got another report that Alec Baldwin basically is no longer in the Joker. He bowed out for scheduling reasons. And it kind of sucks, It would have been interesting to see him in a movie like this, as gritty as it is, with Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix and so on and so forth. So I'm a little disappointed that he's not going to be in the Joker, but I understand things happen, with the Emma Watson, Emma Stone situation, that kind of stuff does happen in Hollywood. I don't think Alec Baldwin's response was necessarily the best, but his situation, he doesn't give a crap. He does what he wants to do. And whether he's in the movie or not, it's not. So, but, like I said, the movie still looks awesome. It's still, like I said, being directed by Todd Phillips. Still stars Joaquin Phoenix. I'm still interested to see how this story's going to play out in the 80s in New York. And, there's going to be no Batman. So, I think this is going to be a very interesting movie, like I've said, but I don't know how it's going to be in the total long run. So, but with that, that's pretty much it. Alec Baldwin was what he does. So, but with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next story, which is, The Walking Dead. It was a huge show. It's kind of dipped in quality. It's kind of on its whatever leg right now. We have Andrew Lincoln, who played Rick Grimes. He's leaving the show at the end of the year. Lauren Cohen's also leaving the show, so I don't know how this show's going to last any longer. It's going to be interesting to see what they do without Rick Grimes, because he's still in the comics from what I heard or remember. I don't read a lot of comics, but Greg Nicotero, who's known for doing a lot of visual work, a lot of creature designs. He's kind of like Rick Baker in a way. Very famous for doing The Walking Dead, some Dawn of the Dead stuff, like Tom Savini. He has been tapped to basically design Spawn for the new Todd McFarlane movie with Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. I think it's cool. I think the fact that Greg Nicotero, who does great prosthetics, will be able to design probably a cool Spawn. I hope he does keep it close to the comic series, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, the only thing we really have to go on is the comics, and then we have the movie with Michael J. White and Martin Sheen. Todd McFarlane directing it. It's going to be interesting, but it's a Blumhouse movie, so there is faith that it is going to be good. But I like the fact that Greg Nicotero is involved doing Spawn, the actual character of Spawn. I think he could bring a really cool look to the character. I think you can see it in his zombie characters just for The Walking Dead. It's just a fascinating pickup. It's like if they would have picked up Tom Savini, for instance. I think he has a lot of history with this kind of work, and it'd be interesting to see them go more practical instead of CG. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, hopefully it's good. A lot of people don't want Jamie Foxx to Spawn, but Michael J. White was Spawn, so whatever. We'll move on. But with that, we'll move on to our next story, which is Chris Hemsworth. Very popular star, A-list star, Thor, Cabin in the Woods, Bad Times at the El Royale. He's joining up with the Russo brothers again, And he's going to be joining in a new film called DACA, if I looked at it right. A new film called DACA, which is the story of a mercenary who has to save the son of a businessman. It's not being directed by the Russo brothers. It's actually being directed by the stuntman of Chris Evans for Captain America, Sam Hargrave. There's not much known about this movie. It hasn't started shooting just yet. I think it starts in November from what I read on the report. But anything that with Chris Hemsworth in it, anything that's not a Marvel movie, I'm fascinated with because Cabin in the Woods, or like I said, Bad Times at El Royale, and Black Hat to an extent. It's nice to see he's moving on past the Thor character. It's interesting that he's going to take on characters like this, where it's not necessarily what he's known for, but it's what he wants to do. The fact that he's playing like a cult leader in the Bad Times at El Royale, and then he played like the crazy, jock in Cabin in the Woods. I'm looking forward to seeing this. And then you have the Russo brothers attached, and then you have a first-time director who, this stunt work is not always successful, but I think it could be fun. I think it could be interesting. Like I said, anything Chris Hemsworth is in, I'm always up to seeing, and this actually sounds interesting to me. Like I said, there's not much to go on, but early news reports and early stuff is talked about, this casting rumor and the Russo brothers and so on and so forth. So that's it on that news story, but I figured I'd share it to you guys so I found it interesting. So, but with that, we'll move on to our next story, which is... Alright, so we got Elsie Fisher, who was in 8th grade. If you guys haven't seen 8th grade, definitely check it out. It was actually one of the first reviews I ever did for this channel. It's a fantastic film. Elsie Fisher, is growing up in a high school, and she's an outcast. And if you haven't seen it, Bo Burnham has made an amazing film, and I hope it gets all the Oscar noms it can handle, because it's definitely a wonderful film, one of the best of the year. So they also have the Addams Family animated movie. It's going to be more in tone from the original series. Elsie Fisher has joined the cast of Addams Family as... She's playing the character of Parker Needler, who is the Addams Family's nemesis daughter of Margot, who is being played by Allison Janney. I like the Addams Family. I think it's a fascinating property. The fact that you have this weird, creepy family, but they're a close-knit family, but they're outcasts, but that's the way, and the way they click and the way they show and the way they act, it's weird and different, but it's a normal family in essence. You have Gomez, who's played by Oscar Isaac. You have Charlize Theron, who's playing Morticia. You have Chloe Grace Moretz, who's playing Wednesday Addams. Finn Wolfhard is playing Pugsley Addams. Nick Kroll is playing Uncle Fester. I mean, this is a great cast. I mean, look at this cast, and it's directed by Conrad Vernon, who did Shrek 2, Monsters vs. Aliens. I mean, just think about the potential of this movie and the cast itself. Oscar Isaac is on a roll. Charlize Theron's always been on a roll. Nick Kroll is creating a role. But just adding Elsie Fisher as the daughter of the rival, the arch nemesis, could be fun. It could be like, if you have Pugsley Addams and this character Parker Needler, and they become friends, or Wednesday becomes friends, and they have to kind of join forces to kind of get the groups back together. I mean, that's not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's a fun story. And Allison Janney has had a great career recently. Stuff like Juno and I, Tonya, which she won an Oscar for. So I'm definitely looking forward to this movie. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays differently than the Barry Sonnenfeld, Raul Julia, Angelica Houston movies that came back out in the 90s. But I think the potential of an animated version of this that, we haven't seen since like the 50s or 60s or something like that, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm always up for a good animated film, and if this works and doesn't look super weird, I thought the Peanuts movie was going to look super weird, but it turned out to be a great movie, and I have faith that this will also be a great movie, because the stuff that Conrad Vernon has worked on, Monsters vs. Aliens, and like I said, Shrek 2, and he's worked on Madagascar a little bit. I love Monsters vs. Aliens. I know it's highly underrated, but Seth Rogen and Reese Witherspoon and Hugh Laurie and so on and so forth, I just think they're fun characters, and I think it was a fun movie. And like I said, this looks like it's going to be a fun movie too. Unfortunately, I wish it was more traditional 2D animation than CG, but I'll take what I can get. So, but that's it on that story. Good luck to Elsie Fisher. She's going to have an amazing career. She is already having an amazing career. She's only done like one movie. So I'm excited to see how she's going to play out in the Addams family. So, but with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next story, which is I want to talk to you a little bit about Swiss Army Man. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a film about Daniel Radcliffe's character who it's unknown how he dies, but he washes up on shore as a dead corpse, and it's just right as Paul Dano's character is about to commit suicide. Anyways, he starts losing his mind. He starts thinking that Daniel Radcliffe's character can talk and he's still alive, but he's really not alive because he can't move. And then it turns into like a farting corpse. I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I enjoy it. It's really dark and cynical. So we got a new film by these directors who are directing some sort of sci-fi action thriller. It's not really known because there's not much about what's going on with it yet. So I'm sure it'll be interesting to watch. Whether it's good or not, that's all based on your opinion and taste. And we found out some new casting, and it's really cool. If you guys have seen Crazy Rich Asians, you know how good Michelle Yeoh was in that movie. She was awesome. To me, honestly, in personal opinion, I think she should get an Oscar nomination for that role because she just leads that movie with such force, and she's just so good in that movie that she exudes like powerfulness, and she's the best part of the movie. And then we got Awkwafina, who was also in Crazy Rich Asians as the eccentric rich friend of Constance Wu's character, and I'm now excited for this movie. Like I said, Michelle Yeoh has been amazing forever. She, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. If you haven't seen that, she was awesome in that movie, just in general. And then you got Awkwafina, who was actually pretty decent in Ocean's 8, even though that movie wasn't particularly great. But she's up and coming. She's kind of like the next Melissa McCarthy in the Asian world, where she's really funny. She's really talented. But now they're in the movie, directed by the guys who did Swiss Army Men, and I'm super excited for this movie now. And it's a sci-fi film, and I love sci-fi films, so I can't say enough about what's going to happen with this film. And like I said, Michelle Yeoh on a hot streak, Awkwafina on a hot streak. There's not much more you can say. We'll see what happens. We'll see who gets cast, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it, so whenever the trailer releases or if we get new casting rumors and so on and so forth. But I figured I'd share it to you guys. If you guys haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians, definitely check it out. Also check out the review I did. I enjoyed it, but just check out the review. But with that, that's pretty much it on that news story, and we'll move on to our last story, which is, so as I've been doing Movie Emporium and I've been keeping an eye on news, I find out there's a lot of trailers released a week that we never hear about. A lot of small indie, sometimes horror films, sometimes dramas. And a lot of interesting stuff, not always great stuff, but, stuff does come through the cracks. I always like to watch it and decide, is it interesting to, show you guys. And a lot of times no, but a lot of times yes. Jason Reitman, who you know from like Up in the Air, Thank You for Smoking, The Great Tully, which if you haven't seen is one of my favorite movies of the year with Charlize Theron. Apparently he has a movie with Hugh Jackman called The Front Runner. It's a political, I think it's a thriller or comedy. I haven't watched the trailer yet, so I'm going to watch it with you guys. But I'm interested to see whatever Jason Reitman does. I know Young Adult, I wasn't a big fan of, and there's some films that he's done which I've never, I'm not gonna say that Up in the Air, I didn't love that movie, but he's a very talented director. He has a very famous father who you might know from Ghostbusters, Ivan Reitman, and he's just an amazing director. I think he works best when he works with Diablo Cody. But I don't know much about this film. Like I said, it just popped up in the last day or two, and it has Hugh Jackman. So I'm already seeing Oscar buzz and lights, and apparently it's pretty good from what I hear. And like I said, if you haven't seen Tully, definitely check out Tully. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I wanted to check out this trailer and see what we think, and I'll let you know. But we'll go ahead and get started, okay? And make sure the volume is and click play. So we got some nice White Boy Rick did this too, where it's like 80s, static and stuff and so forth.
My name's Gary Hart.
So Gary Hart, okay. 1988, 80s are coming back, baby.
I want you to think about the opportunity that we have right here.
J.K. Simmons, there's been a lot of movies by Jason Reitman.
So that anyone can understand. It is a
Beer for America, or
wants
Bear
to
for
share
America.
And all anybody wants is for him to take a stupid photo.
Like the clapping, that's always
You will
fun.
never understand that.
Gary Hart is the man to beat.
Sounds familiar.
If we hold
that from?
ourselves to those highest standards, then the
Oh,
voters
Thomas
cannot
Crown
do
Affair. That's where I
otherwise.
remember from. It's a good little
I wanna ask you
melody.
some
Thomas
questions
Crown
about
Affair is a
the
good
woman
movie,
in
by the way.
townhouse. Can you tell us how you know her?
You can't be serious. No one is staying in my home. There's no need for that.
I am serious, sir.
I like this so far. Fair
The one thing I
Famiga,
ask is that you don't embarrass me.
J.K. Simmons.
can't hide
Already
from
said
this.
that.
The cameras go everywhere.
It's up to us to hold these guys accountable.
Just because
Yeah, I like how
Jason
Jason Reitman films.
It does now.
He uses a lot
He is a
of
man with power and
motion, but he uses a lot of still motion, which is
need to
cool.
say something.
Uses
It's
a lot
no
of
one's business. None of it is.
colors
But
and
we're not
lights and
talking
stuff like
about
that.
We're
It's
talking
very
about how you get through
toned down, but I like his style. So,
This campaign is about the future, not rumors, not
oh man, I already see
I care
Oscar
about the
worthiness of
sanctity of
this.
process, whether you
Just
do or
that
do
scene
not.
alone just makes it worth it. It's November. Okay, everything's coming out in November.
Go on, Gary. Say it.
There's gonna be a story tomorrow about me.
All right, there we go. That's the front runner. Looks good. I don't know. Like I said, I'm always on the fence with Jason Reitman. I love his films, but some films are always different than others. Like I said, Tully, great movie, but Up in the Air I didn't care for, even though it got great reviews. This looks good. I'll always see anything that he has Hugh Jackman and Vera Farmiga and J.K. Simmons in it. So, like I said, this could be good. It could be bad. We never know. Look at Downsizing. I thought it was going to be great. It was a terrible movie. So, and that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Movie Emporium's News of the Day for August 31st, 2018. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, Audioboom, Facebook, and Twitter, all that good stuff. Comment below. Tell us if you like this trailer. Tell us anything about the stories that you liked in the video itself. You know, I'm always willing to have a discussion if there's something you didn't like or if there's something you didn't agree with and so on and so forth. I also put up my review for Kin, so check that out. Tell us what you think about that. But with that, we'll go ahead and head out, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.